Are you ready for a range test today? It's over 240 miles probably today. Are you ready? You guys want to go for a ride, do a range test? Do ya? We get to go today. It's 250 miles of driving. You guys ready? All right, let's do it. Come on, let's go do it. Today, we are going to take the Mach and do a range test. This is the slow speed range test. It'll be done at 56.3 miles per hour or 90 kilometers per hour. It's an established test that's been done by Tesla Bjorn in Norway, and I'm going to replicate that test here in the Mach. We are going to leave the house and we're going to go on this non-visible road. Thanks to the navigation here, I don't think I can even zoom in on it. Anyway, trust me, there's a road here which is Highway 74 that runs all the way over towards Shelby. We're going to turn around at the 30-mile mark and then come back. And we're going to go back and forth on Highway 74 here until we get to probably 5% and then come down the 6 miles from the highway and come to the house. When we get to the house, we're going to see just how much energy we used. Then we're going to charge it up to 100% again and see how much the battery will take fully discharged. So as soon as we're at 100%, we're on the road. This charger wants us to wait another 30 minutes for less than 1%. What do you think we should do? Do you want to go? Yeah, you want to go? Okay. Hank says we got to go. It's 99 point something percent here, and we're going to go anyway. I'm not going to wait 30 minutes for less than 1% of charge. It said full charge was 246, so I think it's probably 246 or 247. So let's hit the road. Okay, the trip meter is reset. We are 1 minute into our run. It's going to be 56 miles an hour or 90 kilometers an hour. I've reset this. I've reset trip 1, and we're going to take it on down the road. We're going to go back and forth on Highway 74 now and see if we can run this down. Temperature set to 68 degrees. The pups are in the back, and I think we'll have a long run. So let's get it done. We're at 246 and we're at 100%. I've set the drive mode to engage. It's kind of the mid-drive mode, kind of give you a basic representation. If it draws more or less power, I couldn't tell you. But we're going to give it a shot at the mid-drive mode here. We've got about 6 miles to go till we get to Highway 74. It's 45 miles an hour here. All right, this is the start of the course. This place is 26 is right over there. 74 starts right here. So we're starting a course up here. We'll get up to 56 and leave it there. I'll adjust for GPS speed once I get up on the highway. Make sure everything is copacetic. And it's 65 in here, so I'm going to be driving kind of slow, but it's the way it is. All right, 56 it is. Co-pilot's activated. And let's drive. The time right now is 12:38. So we'll see what it takes here. 98%, 243 miles of range to start on the highway. I verified that 56 miles an hour is the proper speed for 90 kilometers an hour. And the speed here is 65, so I'm about 9 miles under the speed limit, but nobody drives the speed limit, so I'm probably 25 miles an hour under. We're into our test run here, 238, 96%. Time is 12:51. Just looked at it, and we're 246 watt hours per mile, or 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So it's a little thirsty, but we are going with the wind here. And when we get to the turnaround point, we'll be heading into the wind. The object of this range test is to run the same route, but in opposite directions half of the time. So that's our plan. We're getting close here now to the turnaround point. Got 55.5 miles on the clock so far. We're going to turn around here at exit 161. It's kind of a convoluted overpass, roundabout, underpass thing. You'll see. And then we'll get back up on the interstate and head that way. All right, we're going to get off here. And it's kind of the connector that takes us to Interstate 26. And then we go through a couple roundabouts and then back up on Highway 74. Like I said, it's kind of convoluted, but at least there's no stop signs. Get up in T20, right goes the house. There's under problem here, close to here. Now that off easily around the out. Stay there. And then we get back on 74 where we started the adventure. The pups are up. It's okay. You guys lay back down. We got another round here. 57.7 miles that trip here. Minus probably 6 miles. So I would say that was a 50-mile run. So we'll check it here as we go through this again. Get back up to speed here and set the cruise, and we're back on Interstate 74 now, eastbound. We're at an hour and 10 minutes, 58.9. We've averaged 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. You take 1,000 divided by 3.7, whatever that is currently our consumption. We're at 207 and 82%, so we'll let this run here a little bit and go do another run. This will be run 2. The consumption now is 270 watt hours per mile, and the car is reading 77.9 and hour and 31 on the clock. 188 make that 198 and 78%. We're almost to the second turnaround here on lap number 2. This is exit 187 on Interstate 74. This is the turnaround point. Turn around here and then head back. This is lap 2. We're getting close now to our turnaround for lap number 2. We'll go through the roundabouts and I'll pick you up back once we start lap 3. This is the beginning of lap 3, 110.6 miles on the clock, 2 hours and 8 minutes, and we're averaging 3.7 watt hours, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. Let's get this back to 56. We'll get on to Copilot, and there you go. So this is the beginning of lap 3. Our stats are 171 GOM miles, 66% on the battery, and it is currently 77 degrees outside. This is lap 3 turnaround. We're back on westbound 74 now. Lap 3. Alright, this is the end of lap 3. We're going to turn around here and get headed back for lap 4. So I think I'm going to take a little bio break here and stop at the store. I didn't bring any caffeine. I think I'll get a little caffeine. It's been 162 miles so far, and I think I need a little something, so I'm going to stop, use the facilities here, and then do my thing. I'll get back on the road. Okay, we're getting back on highway here for round number 4. Had to stop and do a bio break, which is fine. Bought a little some caffeine here. Mileage is oh great, it reset. Don't you love it? It's okay, I reset the second timer. It was 160 miles, 50% now getting on, 131 shown on the GOM. And we got a little ways to go yet, probably a couple more hours. So when you shut off the car here, this first trip resets. So we're starting anew, and it looks like it's kind of remembering maybe where we were. We were at 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour, I believe. If I look at the trip, the other one, this one, the mileage is accurate, but the miles per kilowatt hour is inaccurate. You watch, it'll change now. Started out at 2.5, now it's at 2.8. So we're going to go with long term here on the original trip, and I won't shut it off again here. I'm almost at the eastern turnaround point here of run number 4. 45%, the GOM reads 117, and after my stop, this trip reset, so we're getting back to what it was. It's 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour now, and when I stopped last time it was 3.6. But the trip that I reset originally is showing 183 miles, and it's showing 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm not sure which is correct. All right, this is run number 4 turnaround. Westbound now, interstate, or I should say Highway 74. I have to say the pups are real troopers. They just hang out in the back. Good old Hank and Luna. The temperature's up to 79 degrees. Pretty good. This is the end of run 4. Our average for just the regular, this trip, 3.7. 51.6 miles, and we've got to turn around yet. So let's do that. We'll start number 5 when we get off here. Go around the last roundabout here and get back on. Okay, run number 5. We're from the last run number 4. We were at 53 miles. 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. Once I get stabilized, we're at GOM says 89 miles of range and 34% on the battery. So let's get on to number 5 here. 56 miles an hour. It's where we need to be. And there we go. Okay, co-pilot's got it. Let's take a quick look here at this. And then we'll go to trip 1. 217 miles so far. It says 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, and it's been 4 hours and 8 minutes. Okay, this is run number 5. One of the things I've come to like here in this trip is the elevation. Since the GPS provides it, you might as well display it. In this case, they show the real-time GPS. It's really handy. I live in a hilly environment, and I'm going up and down all the time, and just a quick reference, you can see where you are. So that's a good feature for it. As we get a little lower into the pack, we're now at 30%. We're going to see it drop even further. I'm not sure how much power the car uses. There's actually no indication of how many volts or amps are currently on the battery. However, from experience, I know that the lower the battery voltage gets, the higher the current is to provide the same amount of power. You take Ohm's law and you can figure out voltage times current gives you watts. And in this case, I'm just guessing, I don't know. But the voltage, as it drops, the current goes up, and what that does is it warms the battery up and makes things more, I should say, less efficient, and with more IR losses, resistive losses in the battery. But it's okay. We're getting close to the end of the test. This is run number 5, and we are eastbound. Got another 16 miles or so before we turn around. This is the turnaround for run 5. Exit 187. And we'll look at the precise what the car thinks in mileage. We can calculate when we got on to where we get off. And it looks like let's see, right about 79 miles it looks like. Westbound 74 now. We're at GOM reads 71 miles, 26%. I'm showing 79.7 now and 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. And it's 77 degrees, and it's 5:15 in the afternoon. We're getting close to the end of round 5. Coming up on our exit here. Go around and around and pop out, heading on our 6th run here. 47 miles on the GOM, 17% on the battery. 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, and it's 77 degrees still here. So let's get up on the interstate heading back east. Okay, the beginning of run number 6. We have 17% on the battery, 47 miles on the GOM. Got 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. We just did 106, 2 hours. So I think we'll get most of this run in, I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. May have to turn around in between because I'm certainly no place to charge out here on the interstate. I'm going to end up having to go home. It's 5:45 p.m., 78 degrees. Let's get this last run done. Don't you love it? Yeah, I'm doing 56. They're doing 86 or something. They just keep passing me, but I That's the way it is. Got to get the job done here. 16%, 44 miles on the GOM. Little mid-trip stats. 274 miles traveled, a little over 5 hours. Car's predicting 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So take 1,000 and divide it by 2.8. That gives you the watt hours per mile. Anyway, I'll run it all up here at the end. We're down to 15% here now. We are getting close to the bottom of the battery now. Can't remember, but I think any time it'll show low battery. Well, there it is. Just as it turned the lower part of 11%, and now it just flipped to 10, showing low battery. So I think we'll be fine. It says 30 miles. It could be accurate. It hasn't been accurate now. All right, here's our turnaround point, showing 9% on the battery. We've got 27 miles on the GOM. That'd be the guessometer, and then we'll turn around and head back. We are now westbound on Highway 74 here, and 9%. 26 miles on the guessometer. Got 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour down here. And if I look at the total so far, go to trip 1, we've driven 296 miles, 5 hours and 35 minutes to do that. And this particular calculator or whatever in the trip 1 says 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm not sure what's right. I'm going to have to do a little math to figure it out. But so far we're good to go. We've got 9%. So we'll go back to this trip meter and then back to the nav. Anyway, we're getting close to the end now. Hopefully it'll be done in just under 6 hours, I think. Well, I just did a Google map on my phone, so I didn't want to mess with anything in the car. Whoops. Yeah, as the sun's getting low here in our face, you got to hold on to the co-pilot. It'll do weirdo things. Tried to make a left there. It says 20 miles, 7%. I think I pretty well trust it after driving it so much. But we're going to make a direct-in approach to my house. Instead of going through Columbus, we're going to go cross-country a little bit as a more direct route. That should put us there right around 1% or 0 maybe. And I'm hoping it's not like my Ford Explorer, because when it was on empty, it died. But it could happen, I suppose. Anyway, we're going to get the most out of this battery if it puts us on the side of the road. Anyway, we're going to take a direct-in approach to my house. 19 miles on the guessometer, 6% now. And we continue down the highway here on Highway 74. All right, well, 16%, make that 6%. Whoa. The co-pilot's starting to do weird things looking into the sun. Charger distance critical. Interesting way of putting it. Nearest EV station is near edge of range. Find a charger in range or risk running out of energy. And that's kind of interesting because being out here in the county, there are no other chargers except for one that I know in north of us here in Rutherfordton at the college. So maybe it's thinking that, I don't know. But I think we're okay. We're going to play the long shot. Well, let's look at the blob. I'm Remember the range blob? Well, it turns out that my house is down on this part of the blob. So again, I think we're good. As long as I take a direct in approach, I think we'll be just fine. 9 miles, 3%, no problem. We are off here at Highway 9. 2%, 7 miles. I think we're good. Get to the top of the hill with a little inertia. Okay, gone now, 5 miles, 1% on the battery. 3 miles now, 1% still. And I think it's just about 3 miles to my house from this point. We're going to find out. But again, I don't think I think there's a top and bottom buffer. They use it for what's called anti-bricking. Oh, there it goes, 0%. Whoops, stay on the road, Dave. 0%, 2 miles. That's about all I need, I think. You know, I've seen in some cars where they have what's called the turtle shows up. Kind of gives an indication there's power limit. I'm not sure there's a power limit. What I'm going to do, though, is I've got a driveway that I can punch it in, and maybe it'll either roll over and die, or it'll have some amount of power. So that's cool. Usually when the batteries get low, you get a little power limit starting, and then you can't pull any more energy out of the battery. But again, I think this has decent bricking control, so it doesn't turn the car into a brick is what that means when it gets down to 0. Dogs are happy. The dogs have slept for almost 6 hours in the back. They're always good car dogs. We got it made in the shade. All right. All right. You better sit down, Hank. I'm going to try and see if we have any power left here. All right. Okay. Better sit. Sit down. Okay, here it goes. Yep. Poor Hank and Luna. They got thrown in the back. Yeah, I think the... depleted battery. Stop safely now. How about that? Well, I am here, so what I'm going to try to do... I'm going to shut this off for a second and open the garage door and see if I get it in the garage before it keels over. Okay, we have depleted battery. Look at that. Anyway, I think I can get it in the garage. Just going to back it up here into the garage. That's where the J1772 is. We should have enough energy to roll backwards here, I hope. And I gotta actually do some video before I shut it off because it races all this stuff. And we are in the parking spot. How about that? Okay, so let's take it out of park. I'm gonna put it in park here. Let's look at some of the stats before they disappear. So trip 1 is when I started it today. We drove 320.6 miles, pretty wild. 6 hours and 8 minutes. This says 2.8, I don't buy it. And then all this junk. So what we'll do now is go to this trip. Now this trip got reset when I stopped and did a bio break. I was at 160 some odd miles. We can figure that out from the trip 1. 3 hours was just this one, and it's 3.7 is the critical one, and I think 3.7 means more than that 2.8 because that 2.8 never moved. Anyway, just for the record, and cover up my phone here, we've arrived with 1 mile, 0% on the battery, and a message that says depleted battery, stop safely now. Well, the good thing is I stopped safely right in my garage, so I'm going to get this thing plugged in. It's not cool to leave it. And then we're going to record how much we put into 100%, because in the morning I'm going to do the high-speed run. So as you can see today, I drove 320.6 miles from 100% to 0%. I did that at 56 miles an hour or 90 kilometers per hour. The whole time took me less than this number, whatever the number I showed last time, a little over 6 hours. This shows me 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. It never moves. So I'm going to go with the 3.6, 3.7 shown under this trip. Of course, once you shut it off, it resets. So the car currently is hooked up. We're charging at some rate. I'm thinking that it's probably around 10 kilowatts. We now have 2% back. It says 5:24 a.m., which is good because I'm going to leave early in the morning, and I'm going to do the high-speed run. The high-speed run is 75 miles an hour instead of 56 miles an hour, and I will run it until I run down to near zero. I don't want to run out, but I'm going to run it down as much as possible here. And this is all to determine what the Mach-E will do with a full battery at a given speed. As you guys know, the faster you go, the forces of physics start working on a vehicle. An electric car is absolutely no different. Faster I push this thing, the more energy it uses. Same with fossil fuel cars. So the question really is how can I drive this at normal highway speeds, and what actual range am I going to get? Today was kind of an aberration. We drove at 56 miles an hour on a 70 mile an hour road. As you saw, the traffic was flying by. I was legal because I was above the minimum 40 mile an hour speed limit. However, driving that slow is absolutely ridiculous. And if you wanted to buy an EV and drive around at 56 miles an hour, go ahead. You'll get phenomenal range, but it's ridiculous. So tomorrow will tell the truth. 70, 75 is a normal highway speed anymore. So let's see what the Mach-E will do in the morning. I'll do the exact same run, leave my house, go up to Highway 74, run Highway 74 back and forth between Shelby almost, and see just how many miles I get at that speed. If you like this video, please click the like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to not miss any videos coming up. If you'd like to buy yourself a Tesla, the referral link shown at the bottom of the screen gets you 1,000 miles or 1,500 kilometers of free supercharging. Thanks for watching. I'll look for you tomorrow, and take care.